So this week we're going to be giving you a workshop tip. This is going to be a series of short videos which is going to show you how to do things in the workshop.
This week we're going to be showing you how to colour tune your motorcycle, so to get some very basic tuning on the carburation, and we're going to be doing it with help from Will.
Hello Will.
Hello,
Will. Hello YouTube. YouTube Will.
Yeah.
Hi YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
If you've got or freshly built a custom bike in your garage, then this is a very cheap and easy way to get your bike running okay on the road before taking it to a dynoers or anything like that, so you can basically test
Get
ride
it roughly dialed in.
dialed in,
Yeah.
so you can roughly test ride what you've built and be happy enough that it's not going to stall at lights or you're going to seize it or anything daft really.
This is an example of us colour tuning on our XS650. It's non-standard. The exhausts have been changed, the carburetors have been changed, and the airbox has been removed, and velocity stacks with gauzes have been added. So it's quite far away from factory standard. So now that we know the bike is timed, we've timed it with the strobe, we've already had the carbs synchronised at an earlier date, so we know they're balanced. It's time to use the colour tune. The colour tune is a simple kit. It basically is a set of instructions. That is your colour tune. You've got a clear lens running through it, so you can see how the combustion is working inside your cylinder. You can buy adapters. These adapters will basically adjust the colour tune to fit different spark plug holes. Here's your spark plug cap, NGK, pull it out, leave it to one side, make sure you've got the right spark plug spanner, and right, so wind your spark plug out. We've had the engine running, so the spark plug's fairly hot. When you tune the engine should be warm at operating temperature. Also, you've got to do it with the choke off. Don't tune the engine with the choke on. What we're going to do first is we're going to check that this colour tune is the right size to replace the spark plug. So you can check the thread together and the size, and we're ready to go. Right, so thread this, push the colour tune into the spark plug hole. Right, the colour tune takes a different socket to the spark plug. Get a spanner, nip it up, and there we go, the colour tune's installed. Right, now to make it easier to see the combustion, we're going to use the extension adapter. Wind that on tight, and then the NGK cap goes on the adapter with a nice click, and we're ready to colour tune. Now the colour of the combustion varies from yellow to orange to blue to white. The leaner brings you towards the blue spectrum, the richer brings you towards the orange spectrum. On something like an inline 4 or somewhere where you can't get access to the top of the spark plug, for example, very easily, the colour tune, they do provide you with a little 90 or 45 degree angle mirror, so you can actually see the combustion in the mirror. The first step is at idle. So we've got to ascertain whether the bike is running too rich or too lean at idle. Too rich means there's too much fuel going in, and too lean means there's not enough fuel and there's too much air. But once the bike's operating temperature, let the bike tick over, and the optimum colour you're aiming for, which is in step 1 in the instructions, is a Bunsen blue colour. If it's too rich, the colour will be heading towards orange. So when the bike's at tick over, if you're achieving an orange flame, you know that there's too much fuel being burnt. So the way of adjusting this is to adjust the air screw mixture, which is here. Step 2, so you grab, once the engine's running, you grab hold of the throttle and you accelerate smoothly up to 3000 revs. As you accelerate smoothly up to 3000 revs, you will see the Bunsen blue colour, and then as you get to about 2000, it should change, it should become a slightly greeny yellow, and then it will fluctuate through to a whitish blue. And again, if you see predominantly orange, you know you're running too rich, and if you see predominantly too light a white blue, then you know you're running too lean, and you have to adjust the needle height position, which is in the slider of these carbs. The last test involves revving the engine up to a high RPM nice and quickly. And what you're expecting to see again is a spectrum of the colour, and it shows you the rev range on here. It starts at 1000, goes to 1500. At 2000 revs you should see a bright sort of orange flame, which means it's dumping fuel in quite quickly. At 2500 revs it will maintain it. 3000 revs it will start to burn a nice clean white, and then as you back off rapidly it should settle down to a Bunsen blue. The only way to adjust this if you're not achieving that is your main jets, and your main jet is basically your full throttle jet. It comes in between 3/4 of throttle to full throttle. The Tempest is running a bit rich. It settled down nicely at idle, but we had to adjust the screw quite far away from standard to almost the extreme. We had to wind it quite far out, which is suggesting that we need new pilot jets. So we've now got a shopping list. We're going to order some pilot jets up. We'll insert the pilot jets, we'll have a play round, we'll try and lean it up a bit. The needles in the middle of the plunger, they needed adjusting, and the main jet was running fine.
Right, okay. For all our hard efforts, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like the video.
And click subscribe if you'd like to see more.
And I want something to say, so I'm going to say
Bring donuts when you visit the workshop next.
yes.
Yes. That's great.
And so colour tune is useless if you're colourblind.
Yeah, fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just can't get it rich enough.
Yeah.
There's no purple.
So late birth.